Alrighty, guys, welcome to the Andy and Mario show. Joined here with Papa Mario.
Yes.
So this is our first episode, and we want to give you a quick rundown just what this show is really going to be about. We want to keep it relaxed, but predominantly we're going to be covering Australian arm wrestling and international arm wrestling. We're going to have some special guests on at different times. We're going to try and get some good people on that you want to see. We're going to be doing a lot of prediction videos, match reviews, talking about upcoming comps, upcoming stars, and just anything you really want to know. We're going to cover it. What do you think, Mario?
Yeah, you basically covered it all, man. I mean, we're going to try to just inform everyone on what's going on and within Australian arm wrestling, because personally, I don't think it's mentioned enough, to be honest.
Sure.
You know, I mean, Brisbane gets all the attention. Let's put Melbourne and Sydney on the map.
Yeah.
Try to talk up Perth with whatever knowledge we can get.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a deficit lies from an international perspective on Australian arm wrestling. Is Brisbane is perceived as the epicenter of arm wrestling, and
that's
you want to get
truth.
It's not. The world is, Australia is so much bigger. We love our Brizzy boys, but yeah, there's a lot more to talk about outside of that area.
Yeah. There's more than was it Ryan, Lachlan, and Jordan?
Yeah,
there's a few more.
Yeah,
just a few.
But guys, viewers, if you want us to cover anything, let us know. We're really easygoing. We want what you want. We want to have fun. So just let us know. And we'll also be covering some controversial topics along the way, no doubt. So if you are easily offended, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Just leave a comment. We'll probably not get back to you.
Yeah. All right. So let's jump straight into it.
Yeah, bro. Let's go.
So we want to begin by talking about the recent South Australia comp in Adelaide, which you actually went to.
Hell yeah, man.
Now, from what I can tell, it was a really good comp. So is there anyone you wanted to do a quick shout out to?
Yeah, man. The guys have organised it, or the guys and girls have organised it, which is Matt Connolly, David Stockbridge, Tim Graham, Shelton Bird. I think she played a big part in basically sign up sheets, making sure everyone's ready to go.
Yeah.
I believe Matt Connolly's wife, Tegan, she was taking photos all day. Ryan Bowen as well. He took footage on the day and he uploaded it, which is a nice thing he done.
Yeah, awesome.
Other than that, it was a great comp, man.
Yeah.
No injuries. No fucking injuries.
That's what you
the
want.
main thing.
Yeah, that's perfect. So first I want to dig right into it. You had some great matches with Blue, and I'm sure a lot of the international scene know who Mario is now because of those matches.
I hope so.
So you competed in the heavyweight class together, left and right, and then you competed in the overalls.
The overalls,
yeah. So tell us a bit about how the matches went. Particularly the differences between left and right-handed, for example.
So left-handed is there was no trouble on the left hand throughout that whole comp.
Yeah.
So we're not going to talk about that. No one cares about left hand anyway. It doesn't count.
All right. Right-handed, get on it.
It's about right hand.
Yeah.
So right hand, it was good. We had some good showings. Specifically, someone that's not Ryan Bowen, Peter Andari from Sydney gave me a bit of trouble in the setup. So he gassed my hand and my bicep.
Yeah.
He's doing the right fucking thing. He's a weapon. Only 4 months in too. Thought I'd just give him a bit of a plug.
Yeah, for sure.
But leading into the Ryan Bowen match, first round he set up no load. That's what I was expecting. No load, right into my hand, deep grip, high knuckle. I was like, okay, nerves fucking set in. I start clamping down. I start doing exactly what I didn't want to do. And then I fucking just get pinned. Yeah. He just drags me in.
Yeah.
That was the first round.
So
I get sent to the... Sorry, man, go.
No, that's right. Yeah. So it went exactly where he wanted to in first round.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So how did that change what you then did in the following rounds?
So yeah, I got sent to the B draw and then came back up again. So the following round is I did get a pin on him with a massive 4 or 5 inch elbow foul, which no one called. So I'm taking that win anyway.
You know what they call that?
So, huh?
You know what they call that?
Is it the Louisiana Hot?
No, they don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, just fuck it. Don't worry.
The Moe, don't worry. Yeah.
The Moe, don't worry. The fucking Aussie box jump, mate. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Fucking, what did I do? So we set up. I was really aggressive in the setup. Really, really aggressive. I was just kept turning him in, and just blamed Tim for it too. And Tim Graham was eating it up. Yeah. Still, Tim, love your reffing, mate. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
So I just got the jump on him, turned him in, went directly sideways and down. Fucking got him. Got him like a split second too. It was a beautiful beautiful execution and timing.
Yeah. Nah, good stuff.
Yeah, man.
So I know that he won the heavies. So at that point it was 1-1, and then he came back to win the third round.
He did. Yeah. He came back and did. He did exactly what he did the first round.
Yeah. Anyway, so moving on to overalls. So you get another few chances against him.
I did, yeah. So I believe I got the first pin on him. I got the first pin on him in overalls. I sunk him into a hook, and then we went into a bit of a hook battle. I'm pretty sure you saw the footage. Went into the hook battle. He sort of went into that pronated defensive hook where he sort of makes minor adjustments every time you drive. So all I did was just forward to the pad, cupped as hard as I could, chopped as hard as I could, and made sure I could put a lot of down pressure turning his palm, supinating him completely. Yeah. And then driving downward. Yeah. And that's how I managed to get the parallel pin on him.
Yeah. And the thing was, it was a long match as well. With usually Blues, he has the long game. If it starts dragging out, he generally bleeds people. So I think you surprised a lot of people when you did get the pin on him.
Fuck yeah. Hey, look at Rumours Lottie. Raymond Antonovich couldn't get through that. Yeah. So that's my comparison,
For sure.
Yeah. Should really quite happy with it.
Yeah, for sure. What about, because we know Sam Burnett from Brisbane had some wars with Taron Broad and Josh Parker.
Hell yeah, he did.
So tell us a bit about that.
Well, I can't remember what the order was of the matches, but I did remember when Sam and Josh first gripped up right-handed under 75s. Josh flashed him with the fucking most amazing little press that he's got, which gives me and Adam trouble in the club, believe it or not. Yeah. Yeah, and the guy's 69 kilo, like wet. It's crazy. Fucking ridiculous.
Just crazy.
Yeah, it is. And then Taron's matches with Sam. Now, I believe Taron won center and Sam reverted to his kings that no one saw coming.
No. And it wasn't your typical king's move. It was almost like a king's hook where it really cut hard, and he wasn't... there wasn't as much pronation as you'd usually see in a king's move.
Exactly.
But he wasn't budging.
Yeah, so what it was is, it was completely cupped. And think of it as like a constant bicep curl. Yeah. That's what it was, at 90 degree, at a 90 degree lock. He hasn't been doing it long enough for it to be calcified. So it's not like a Michael Todd or Crazy George kind of king's move. It's his own style. Yeah. To be fair, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah. I'm glad he's fucking got it.
Yeah. But when your body is dropped at that level, you really don't have to put too much emphasis on pronation when you are locked.
That's correct.
There wasn't much fighting for hand control. It was a very isometric movement.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, there were some great matches there.
Oh yeah,
And yeah, Josh Barker really surprised me. Um, yeah, honestly, because you train with him. He's one of the Sydney
yeah,
boys.
man.
You can track his progression.
Oh yeah.
But to a lot of people that don't know who he is or haven't seen him compete much, it really puts things into perspective about what's actually happening in Sydney at the moment. Mm.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of things happening in Sydney at the moment.
Yeah,
Crazy, crazy fucking people that have sort of come out of the blue, and
yeah,
there's a lot of strength and a lot of natural arm wrestling movement
yeah,
on the table. I mean, Peter Ndari, perfect example. 4 months into the sport, pins Tim Graham, pins bloody Taryn, pins who else? Who else? I think he pinned Matt Bitsko as well, who's also another unit from South Australia.
yeah,
Strong dude, strong dude. Like he's probably one of the next left hand top 10s or top 5s potentially if he trains regularly.
yeah.
Apparently he doesn't.
Yeah.
So fucking start training, mate. Fucking hell. He's got an amazing left.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I want to talk a little bit about what's happening this weekend because there's a pretty big match coming up.
Now, yeah, your boy, Henry.
Yeah,
Henry Marcus.
So there is a comp in Queensland.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to be there. You may be there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You'll be there?
I'll be driving tonight.
So to anyone that has tuned into Ryan Bowen's channel, has definitely seen Marcus Atira, who's a very, very gifted, large man. Now, we have a guy that trains from Victoria, one of my training partners, Henry Mullet, who's also a giant. To give you a bit of perspective, his hand is as long as Vitali's Lalaitan's, but it's close to as thick as Levan's. It's really scary.
Yes.
When you shake his hand, your hand just disappears. So Henry's really new to the sport. He's only a few months in, technically, because he didn't really start training up until probably 3 months ago. And he's one of those guys that just comes in and automatically he's top 5 in the club on his, first proper training session. And then within a few months, he's top 3 in the club, which really speaks volumes about his potential and his trajectory in the future. But getting back to the actual match in hand, so who do you actually think is going to win this? Because these guys are both relatively on the same level as far as experience goes. They haven't been in the sport.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, Marcus he's been on and off for the last 2 years.
Yeah,
possibly more.
Yeah, and I think that's where the difference is between them is Marcus has been in the sport for longer.
Yeah.
But it's only supposedly this year that he's really decided that he wants to pursue arm wrestling at a very
absolutely
level.
Yeah. Yeah, he's making big strides, especially with that club up there. I mean, they're really on him to get better. And you know what? It's Marcus has taken a very good approach to it as well. It's word for it, like mentally, he's got a really good motivational anchor point, I could say.
He's pretty entertaining as well. I see him.
He's so cool.
His match with Torben at the last Queensland comp, and even in training videos where he's arm wrestling Blue, he'll pull out a massive driving hit out of nowhere, and then he'll Blue, he'll look at the camera and he's doing his sign off.
Just such a happy-go-lucky guy, man.
He is.
A gentle giant, literally. He's the very definition.
Yeah, for sure.
Very definition.
Definitely. But in saying that, he's like the one guy you wouldn't want to mess with, being a former cage fighter.
Yeah, man. I've seen him when I went to Blues Hit training session back in December. He he was showing a few moves to Blue, and I swear to God, he turned into a pretzel just for like in under like 3 seconds. It was ridiculous.
And at that size as well, it's just like...
Yeah, he moves so efficiently.
Yeah, definitely.
So once I want to see him with 2 years experience under his belt. For sure. Consistently training.
Yeah.
He'll be
So
mega.
the match itself is going to be, I believe, left and right, 6 rounds.
Oh shit! So is there left? I didn't
Yeah.
realize there's left too.
I believe so. Originally, I think it was meant to be right-handed, but Henry may have
Mhm.
pushed for a left-hand match as well. So
Cool. Yeah.
don't quote me because I'm not certain, but I believe that's the case.
Yeah. Right.
If honestly I had to say what's going to happen, I really think Henry's the favorite to win left-handed, and I think
Okay.
Marcus is the favorite to win right-handed.
Okay.
So looking at how Marcus did against Torben left-handed, they had some wars, and Torben almost beat him in the earlier rounds. And feeling Torben right after that comp over the next few days and training with him versus how Henry feels on a weekly basis at the moment with me, I just can't see Marcus having an easy route to beat Henry at all. In saying that, right-handed, I think Marcus is the favorite just on pure power.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, go on.
I've got a question for you on that. How does Henry arm wrestle on his right hand?
So he high hooks / top rolls on his right.
So he's always busting out into your fingers, working his position, getting his leverage.
He doesn't have to because his hand's so big.
Yeah, okay.
Most likely you're going to lose the hand control battle, and he's just going to capitalize on that and drive. So the way that I'm beating him in training is by sacrificing hand control, doing a bit of a Danny Tesh where I'll lock my shoulder in.
Yeah.
And then bleeding him out from there.
Have you gone deep hook, wrist to wrist?
Yeah.
How does that feel?
He's still quite strong in a hook. In a deep hook.
Can you budge him at all?
Yes, in a hook, yes.
Okay, all right. See, the difference is with Marcus, wrist on wrist, and I felt this, doesn't fucking move. He does not fucking move.
Yeah, and this is where I struggle to accurately depict what I think is going to happen because I've never gripped up with Marcus. So I can only speak from experience of people that have pulled Marcus or from Henry.
Absolutely,
In saying that, I do think that Marcus is the heavy favorite and that he is stronger than Henry. Henry's not the type of person that you just beat because you have to be stronger than him to beat him. If you're on his level, he will win just on the sheer size of his hand. So I don't think that Marcus will control his hand. I think that the way that Marcus is going to win is by digging in, getting into a position where he can hook drive, which I've seen him do. It's very efficient. It's really powerful.
How's Henry's strap pulling? Does he utilize that bottom strap? Have you taught him the basics on it?
It's very, very, it's close. So he still pulls better out of straps, but he is closing that gap. So when I train with him, I force him into the straps because I want to expose him to how most matches will pan out. And he is slowly learning how to use the strap.
Cool.
So, the thing with Henry is he's just as committed as Marcus. So even if he loses, he's going to be like, oh yeah, that's all right. I'm just going to train for another 6 months and I'm going to make it a lot harder on you. Like he's in it. Nice. He wants to, I've asked Henry, what do you want to do in this sport? He's like, I want to be the world's best. Like, I don't see another option. So
he can though. He can genetically. He's got it all. He's got it all. It's just commitment and hours and time. That's all he's got to do. He's just got to put in the effort.
It's insane. So he's in it for the long haul. So everyone get used to it. He's coming for us all.
Fucking hell. That makes me so excited.
Yeah. So I'm
keen to see him.
I wish I could be there.
Yeah, man. All right. I'll be your eyes.
Exactly right. That's all I need. So, do you want to talk about the big announcement recently?
You mean the show?
Yeah. So, the over-the-top comp.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy.
Are you going to win it? Or am I going to win it?
Look,
Who's
I feel like
going to fucking win it, mate? We've got to decide now.
Look, I feel like it's going to be us in the finals, and we'll just be mesmerised by each other. So we'll just won't be distracted. So the match will start, and then nothing's going to happen. We'll just stay there, like, bro.
It's going to be like a 7-minute war of just staring.
Oh man, no, but this comp is going to be incredible. So,
oh yeah.
To anyone that doesn't know, Australian Arm Wrestling, the AAF, recently put out some news that there's going to be an over-the-top style comp in November this year in Gold Coast, I believe.
Yeah, Gold Coast. I believe they're trying to score a casino just to make it as
very novel,
as accurate as possible to the movie.
Yeah. And it's also going to be 80s themed. So
have you got your outfit sorted? I've got mine.
Nah, but I will soon. Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay.
So
can't wait, bro.
Yeah. So there's going to be, I believe, $10,000 to the open class winner, the Pro League.
Overall winner. Yeah. Yep.
And depending on what's going to happen with borders and everything, there's a lot of interest internationally so far.
Yeah.
So I've already seen Lars Rabakin comment, Matt Mask. I've spoken to Coach Ray, and he's excited to come to Australia soon.
Would it be Coach Ray and the Latvian team? So
I don't know.
Vlad and Giannis.
It would be
maybe
awesome.
Even
it would be awesome if we could at least get Coach Ray, Vlad, and Giannis, because we've all seen them compete. So don't be deceived by their size. Yes, but I think at the very least, New Zealand's borders will be opened up to Australia quite freely. So we're going to have the, Mataheta Morris, who's New Zealand's overall super heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
But honestly, how do you feel about this? Are you going in there to win it?
Yeah. Yeah. So not only that, I've got to add some more names too. I've heard or I've seen Gennady Kikvenium take interest.
Wow.
Old mate cousin Gennady.
Wow. That's insane.
And who else? Larry, potentially. So I get this from the comment section in their videos. And a lot of them are saying go to the Australian tour and just beat everyone there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, Gennady's going to Dubai very, very soon as well. And a lot of people haven't seen him pull for quite a while now.
Yeah.
But the rumours are that he's on par with Levan.
Yeah. He's potentially the most dangerous arm wrestler in the world at this point in time.
Yeah. The way that I envision Gennady is he doesn't have quite as much hand as Levan, but he's just as strong and faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see him being way more explosive than Levan.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think he can be tighter to his body as well, because he isn't quite as large as Levan.
He isn't quite as large, that's right.
Yeah. But, he's come out with a YouTube channel recently, and he beat Devon's...
Thank God he did. Thank God he did, mate.
Yeah. He beat Devon's hook bicep curl.
That's right, yeah. For a double.
So
fucking insane.
And he's recently called out Michael Todd twice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's just in case the Levan match isn't going through, which I think it is, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it is. I think it's happening, to be honest.
Yeah. So what's going to happen in a perfect scenario if all of these international athletes make it to Australia for this comp? Because Australia is on its way to being world-class, but when it's shaken up by arguably the best athletes in the world, it's going to scare a lot of us Aussies.
It should be like a, what do you call it? It's like an honor to pull those guys.
Oh, for sure.
That's me personally,
I would love nothing more than to get Gennady round one. I would be honoured to lose to him.
Yeah, man, he can obliterate me. I don't give a fuck. As long as I get to touch his hand, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I love his energy. So it would
He's so
definitely
cool.
it would definitely shake up a lot of the classes because
Hell yeah.
there is some people that do think that it's just going to be Australian arm wrestling, and
Yeah, because borders is still well fucking.
hey, look, it is an
down.
unpredictable time.
Yeah.
So yeah, crazy. Well,
So
regardless,
if no internationals arrive, who is your best bet of winning? Now, let's just take into account the draw. So for the overalls, I plan on being about 105 to 110 at that point in time.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and
we're
I'm
gonna
gonna
go
say
from
you, bro.
110 no legs.
Yeah,
110 no legs.
Yeah.
So if they organise a draw by weight, so heaviest versus the next heaviest, and so forth, and looking at us, for example, we're in mid pack, so we might actually get through unscathed to some tired big boys down the line. So that's why I think we might have the best chance around that weight. So even at 100 kilos, for example.
Yeah. Hypothetically speaking, if that were the case, you would see the, Brett Coots, Matter, Ben Carroll, Ryan Scott, Lockie Adair all going for each other.
Yep.
And potentially tiring each other out. Maybe not enough, maybe enough.
Mate, all they got to do is just knock 10, 15% off this actual strength, and then I think we can come clean up.
Exactly right. So, and then again, it also goes down to how hard are our matches early on. If you blew me, people like Jamie Carl all get in a draw together. If those are some long matches as well, that could work against us because you look at people like Ryan Scott, he's aiming, and even Matter, he's going to aim to flash pin you, and he's not going to exert much energy. Ben Carroll, if you take his wrist, he's just going to flop press you like
it doesn't fucking matter if you take his wrist.
He's not going to be exerting that much energy if he's flop pressing everyone. His hand will blow up, but he's still going to have his stupid tricep press that could potentially annihilate anyone. And we know how strong he is based on his low performance recently.
I don't think that matters in a sense. Everyone's going to come peaking. Everyone's going to be at their best shape, best form. Yeah. I reckon everyone's going to give each other a bit of a battle. I mean, look at Ryan Scott and Big Matawara. I want to say his name right, but I could never, ever do it.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say Big Matt from New Zealand at this point in time. I apologize if it's wrong. They had a war at 2019 Arnold's.
They did, yeah.
And that was before the motivation of 10K.
Sure. And that's what I think is going to be one of the factors that matters the most is the prize money, which we've never seen in Australia at all, let alone in many countries around the world.
That's right.
At least not for quite a few years in some countries. So you're going to see very hungry people, and who knows what could happen. It really is unpredictable. Like anything can happen. There's, with a class, I believe there's going to be something ridiculous like 15 to 20 classes outside of the overalls. It's going to be a huge turnout.
Wait, 15 to 20 classes?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot. So I think it's yet to be confirmed, but I was hearing some stupid numbers from different people. So there's bound to be a lot of upsets, is what I can say.
Hell yeah. It's going to be a full day, man. And a full night.
Yeah.
And a full morning afterwards.
Yeah. And then the 3-day bender, GG.
Yeah. You know it. 10K bar tab. Got to fucking finish that thing, don't we?
Yeah, exactly right. It'd be weird not to. Oh, man. Oh. Nah, look, I'm excited regardless. Everyone's training hard. And I honestly hope, regardless, that the more international pullers that come, the better. So
absolutely, yeah.
Any international viewer watching this, if you're generally interested, please come. Australia is a great scene, and I think it'd change your perception on Australian arm wrestling if you can.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we like to drink piss, get drunk, have a good time. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Who doesn't want to do that?
Oh, exactly right.
You know?
Yeah. So in light of that, I want to ask you, at an international level, who
Yes.
is a few matches you want to see more than anything?
So, like for myself to verse someone?
No,
or-
just at a matches you want to see outside of you.
Oh, okay. Well, first I want to see Gennady versus Michael Todd. Probably after Levan versus Michael Todd, to be honest. Because the question has to be answered.
Of course.
Who's the best?
Exactly right.
I'm actually really excited to see Dave pull Levan.
Yeah,
because Dave's just a fucking unit.
Yeah,
He might actually give him some major trouble.
And I keep, I follow Dave Chafee on social media, and every time he comments, he says the same thing: "I am more than ready. I am more than ready. I am ready." And you got to, you have to consider this. He's been waiting for Levan for well over a year now. He was meant to verse Levan last year. Was it in the first stage of top 8?
Yeah, then it all got shut down.
Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff that happened due to COVID.
Yeah.
It just kept getting postponed. So Dave is just eagerly waiting and training. So I do think that anyone that says that Levan's is going to go through him, I don't see it.
I doubt it, man.
Like I've seen, we've all seen Dave Chafee have hook wars with Denis Saplenkov, who's arguably the strongest inside puller that's ever lived.
Yeah.
We've seen him have wars with pretty much everyone that you can imagine that's been on the main stage at a high level.
Would you consider his losses in WAL or not?
I mean, of course you have to consider them, but you also have to realise that it's different rules. PAL
exactly
is so much different to WoW. And
a lot of people bring that up. It's like, he lost to Devon really easily, and Michael Todd, he just sort of gave up. It's
if Dave Chafee was to verse Devon and Michael Todd PAF WAF rules, I believe Dave Chafee would win, hands down.
Yeah.
He'd be the heavy favourite because much stricter rules. Dave is just a stronger guy. And, Michael Todd and Devon will tell you the same thing. He is the stronger guy. They have to find ways around it. And that's what
and you lose 2 inches off the back of the pad. I mean, that's a massive disadvantage for Michael Todd's style. Devon's style now.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about your matches, man? What do you want to see?
Yeah, I'm the same. I want to see more of Vitaly because we haven't seen him since his match with Levan.
Yeah.
But we have seen him put on a lot of weight since then.
Bro. It was like 20-something kilos he's chucked on.
And, I remember around the time of the top 8, when he had his match with Levan, everyone was starting to do those seated curls. And of course, gym lifts aren't indicative of arm wrestling strength.
Yeah.
However, seeing Vitaly, not struggling, but definitely trying when he was curling 80 kilos versus putting out a 130 kilo seated curl something like 9 months later, it gets you thinking like, okay, he's put on a lot of weight. Clearly he's added some strength in a lot of areas where he would, probably deem him as his weaknesses inside. Makes you think like, what level is he on? I don't know.
Yeah. So, a lot of the guys, if you look at the podcasts and the interviews with Neil Pickup and such, a lot of guys say, I'm pretty sure Cressy said, Levan doesn't scare him as much as Vitaly.
Yeah.
Okay. Michael Todd says Levan is less intimidating than Vitaly.
For sure. I mean, Vitaly is the tallest competitor.
6'9"
at that world level. His arm length and his quick top roll makes him so hard to beat for anyone. We've seen the way that Vitaly beat Dmitry Trubin.
Yeah.
He beat, I would say he beat Dmitry easier than Levan did.
Yeah.
And I know that Levan and Prudnik didn't have a match in top 8.
That's right.
Vitaly
It was
Prudnik
just
did.
Vitaly and Prudnik.
I still believe that Prudnik would have given a better match to Levan than he would have to Vitaly, just stylistically. So for Michael Todd, he doesn't like a loose strap. He likes it tighter so he can clamp someone down. I do think that with Vitaly's no load, fast hitting PAF style, I really think that that's going to cause a lot of problems for Michael, and his king moves won't be initiated in time, because we've seen Michael get flash pinned by Pushkar, by Dennis. And if anyone I believe could do that, it's Vitaly. So yeah,
he's very dangerous, man. He's one dimensional, but like,
of course,
he's very, very
when
strong
you're
in that spot.
If you're strong, if you're strong enough and good enough to beat everyone in the world, you only need to be one dimensional.
Yeah,
you only need one move to beat everyone. Slozer beats everyone.
So, I mean, fuck. Yeah, I mean, look, Hermes is like a smaller version. Hermes Gasparini, smaller version of Vitaly, and they've basically got the same move. Would you agree?
Yeah, very, very similar.
You remember that match with him and Michael Todd?
Yeah, definitely.
In 2017, I think. 2018.
Yeah, the only difference I would say stylistically is Vitaly is very good at going sideways straight off the go, because of the size of his hand, he doesn't need to roll out as much, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas Hermes, having a smaller hand, he needs to apply more back pressure, and he needs to gain a little bit more hand control with those, heavier guys.
Yeah, he does hit backwards. You're right.
Yeah.
If you watch him. Yeah.
But in saying that, Hermes has flash pinned sideways quite extensively in his career. So, it just depends on the match. But yeah, they are very similar in that respect. Yeah. So I'd love to see more Hermes, definitely.
We'll see more Hermes soon, right?
And of course, I'd love to see Dennis come back and just shock the world one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he's done just yet.
You reckon?
No, I do.
I'm pretty sure Eagle put out a video that he's sort of done, sort of over for him.
Really?
Just because of his health issues.
Yeah, because I do know that there was a few videos they put out where Eagle was addressing Dennis's current form, and he was like, yeah, he can't compete just yet against Levan. His doctor hadn't given him clearance yet, still a few issues. Fair enough. In saying that, I think and I hope that time can bypass that, and he can get to a state where he's healthy enough to compete again. But yeah, if it is
like he's still up there, man. He's definitely in the conversation for top 10, top 20 in the world.
Yeah, in his weaker
genuinely
form.
Just
in his weaker form.
Even in his weaker form,
yeah, for sure. All right, let's move on to you then. Let's talk about matches with you in Australia, in the world. Who do you want?
Oh, so in Australia, Brett Coots, that needs to be sorted. Like, I want to know who's left-handed, who's better left-handed. I have such a good run on my left.
You're honestly, stylistically, your left is, arguably, I would say your left is top 2 in Australia, top 3.
Ooh.
So I think left-handed is between
Brett
and
so what? Let's say, what's the top 3 right now, in your opinion?
In my opinion, currently based on form, Lachlan Adair, because Brett isn't in his competitive form just at the moment.
So this is current in your opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Historically, Brett is still the best. And until anyone beats Brett, I can't change my mind.
No, absolutely. I agree.
There are considerations such as Gunters back in the day beat Brett. But stylistically, it's different. Lachlan Adair's beaten Gunters, but he couldn't beat Brett. So styles make matches as usual.
Classic scissors, paper, rock.
Exactly right. I do think you three are still the best left-handed, but stylistically, you've got the best chance at beating Brett, because Lachlan's going to go straight into Brett's power and vice versa, whereas you're going to be avoiding that as best you can.
That's right.
And as much as I love my boy, Brett is just so strong. Even not in his prime form.
I know. He's wicked.
It's one of those things that you just can't imagine someone being beat until it happens.
Yeah.
Because he has proven time and time again how strong he is.
Yeah.
In, the Arnold Classic in Melbourne in 2017, I believe it was, or 2018.
2018 Ron Bath, is that what we're quoting?
He just,
yeah, man. Just fucking killed him.
He just played with Ron Bath's left. And I know Ron Bath's left isn't as good as his right, but it still does put things into consideration of where Brett's was back 3 years ago at least.
So he was he looked amazing at that comp.
Oh, scary.
Fucking so scary.
Really scary. So yeah, I think if Brett wants it this year, Brett is a contender to take out the whole event and over the top.
Right-handed. It is a right-hand comp.
Yeah, I still think if Brett wants something, he'll get it. Yeah, I don't want
I know he has a few wrist issues.
Yeah,
like
and you know, all things considered,
wrist issues.
If he can come in healthy and committed and motivated, he's a tough opponent for everyone. We've seen him beat Ryan Scott on the right. He's been some really big names in Australia. So yeah,
he's a titan, man. He's the titan of Australian arm wrestling. He's just been there from almost the beginning, and has just stayed at the top.
Yeah. He was competing long before me. I believe his first comp was in 2011.
In the car park.
Yeah, back when arm wrestling.
Yeah, I've seen the footage.
Yeah. So yeah. No, interesting.
All right, who is your domestic match that you want to see? Oh,
well,
let me guess.
Look,
right-handed, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Bowen. You need to fucking put a pin in it, don't you?
I do, yeah. I would definitely want a rematch with Blue along the road.
Okay.
There's someone else which I honestly thought was going to be your first pick. Do you want one more chance? You may train with them.
Oh, fuck me. Adam Laura.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
You need to put a pin in that.
Yeah. Because
Why? Why him?
Because we've just always... Because I don't know, man. I love him. He's awesome. I just want to arm wrestle him. He's fun. I'm yet to get a pin on him in a comp. I think we've only arm wrestled once on the left.
Okay.
But we've trained a lot interstate.
I know he's down in Melbourne quite a bit. So.
Yeah. So would you say he's number 2 in New South Wales?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's always on my heels too. There's some days where I'm like, oh fuck me, he's fucking feeling strong today, you know. And
I would consider myself, and I would argue that I'm number 2 in Victoria.
Because Brett's number 1
still.
But then again, Brett could be number 1 in the country too.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it just makes sense. If I want someone in New South Wales, it's going to be Adam Laura. I do want to track my progress because I know he has gotten very, very strong. Oh man,
his skill set's been updated, in the last 2 years. He can do everything now. Everything. And he's never out of position like he used to be, which a lot of people took advantage of.
Yeah. And every time the last time Blue was down in New South Wales, Adam Laura gave him a lot of trouble.
Yep. That would be the old footage. I'm trying to remember when that was, but that was probably early in 2019. No. Don't quote me on that.
I reckon 2019 to early 2020 would have been.
Yeah.
It'd be on Blue's channel.
That's right. That's right. But watch him versus Doug. I'm going to upload the footage on our page anyway, on the Sydney page. Yep. Watch him versus Doug in the New South Wales comp.
That's an amazing match.
Fuck, the energy levels, man. We nearly tore the roof off.
Yeah.
Such a cool match. But yeah, from that Blue training video to then, he's changed completely. And he's just been getting better and better. But in saying that, your training regime now has got a bit of an update too.
Yeah. My training's a lot different. Uh, I've been, I hired Coach Ray as my coach
Yep.
probably 6 weeks ago.
Yep.
And it's only early days, but I'm seeing a lot of changes.
Yeah,
So,
6 weeks is probably enough to start seeing differences.
yeah, definitely, especially at the club. In the last few weeks, arm wrestling, I'm feeling a lot tighter, more fluid on the table. I'm just choosing the path of least resistance now. You know,
Smarter.
yeah, I just feel a lot better. So, a lot of my training isn't strength at all. I'm doing high volume, mid to high range volume.
Good, man.
So
That's awesome.
I'm not doing 1 rep maxes. I just don't find it useful, and neither does Coach Ray. So with what I'm doing, it's essentially building all my fundamentals while emphasizing on all my weaknesses. And he's trying to make me the most complete arm wrestler I can be, while focusing on getting the best that I can be in my best move. So I'm filling in a lot of holes, and a lot of people at training are noticing as well. Like, before, 8 weeks ago at training, there could be, me versus XYZ, and they said that they could, do something with my hand, in whether it's top roll or hook, and they could find some sort of purchase. But now there's no way around anything. I've essentially closed all doors to a lot of my training partners, which I'm excited about, because it makes me realize, I am actually seeing, I'm seeing some change now, which is good, because you get into that mindset where you don't know if you're progressing still, because gym lifts don't necessarily transfer over to the table.
That's right.
But when you see changes on the table, then you're making.
Oh yeah.
So I'm really excited. So I'm going to be training most of this year. I won't resurface probably until over the top, man.
So you won't attend comps?
Look, I won't go out of my way, but if the opportunity arises, I probably won't say no.
So you won't come to the New South Wales comp in March.
I mean, look, if you're going to be there, I can't say no.
So like May, I think it's March, May or June, or somewhere around then.
Don't look at me like that, because I can't say no.
Right.
Right.
I already got your ticket.
Yeah.
She says, no, there's no fucking getting out of this.
Yeah, look, I'll probably come to that. I'm not going to lie.
Man, you got to test it. You have to test it.
Yeah.
You got to see where you're at.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, so I want to give it quite a few months before I start testing the waters.
Okay.
But in saying that, look, I might come.
I think it'd be awesome just to see how it is. I mean, I think even Coach Ray would agree with that.
Yeah. I'll see what he thinks. If he gives me the green light, I might go.
Yeah, man.
Because you know what that means. Like, I'm not going to be there for the comp. I'm going to be
Oi, tins before pins.
That's it. Tins before pins. Oh, gosh.
All right. So that was domestic, international. Who have you got? Who do you want?
Yeah, I want some young talent. I said this to Aussie arm wrestler recently. I'd love a match with Chance Shaw or BLM. Someone young and hungry. Schoolboy, that would be awesome. Because, everyone sees Schoolboy as a really good arm wrestler, which he is. And he's only just growing into his frame now. But there's been a bit of hesitation and doubt as to how good he actually is on a world level. But I don't doubt how strong he is by any means. And I would honestly love an opportunity to arm wrestle him.
Good, man.
Yeah, so I reckon that's where I'm going. And if I went even further, anyone in the middleweight weight class for WAL. So, your Justin Bishops. Yeah. I'll honestly take anyone. And I'm not saying I will beat any of these people.
Just want the chance.
I just want the chance. Because as soon as you start saying you can beat people, then everyone just gets on your back, like, oh, you know,
Yeah,
you
that's
haven't earned
right.
the right to blah blah blah. But no, I don't care. I will never refuse a match bet, you know, which I believe is
Oh man,
above me.
you've clearly shown that you don't
Yeah.
refuse matches.
Yeah, for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. So
Fuck yeah.
yeah, it's going to be a good year, I think. With everything opening back up.
Yeah, man. Can't wait to see your games. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
for
amazing.
sure. Yeah, but you never know, man. Like March, bro, might be on the same table. You never know.
Bro, I'll just slip a 50 to Coach Ray to give you the green light.
Yeah, and you know, whoever's the ref, I'll just slip him a bit of cash. Like, oh, hang on, could you start round one, Mario and Andy? Yeah, no worries. Cheers.
Cash, you mean just fucking hand him a tin, mate.
Yeah, that's
Put
it.
the logo on it, mate, with the Jim Beam logo.
The Jim Beam logos.
Whatever you want.
Right. So I reckon we're going to wrap it up there, guys. What do you think?
I think it was a good run, man.
Yeah,
Good run for the first episode. Can't believe we're doing this. Wait, can't believe it took this long to do this.
Honestly, I don't know.
Shout out to Gabriel Fish for giving us the idea.
Yeah. So if you ever want to blame anyone for this channel, it's Gabriel.
Yeah, blame him for your wet dreams, mate.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So, guys, we're going to be releasing an episode each week. So if you genuinely enjoyed today, don't forget, just like, subscribe to the video. We're doing this for fun. We don't care.
Yeah.
We just want to bring a bit of entertainment into arm wrestling after a pretty average 12 months with COVID and everything. So yeah, I reckon we'll leave it there, and we'll see you guys next week.
Fuck yeah. See you guys.
Bye.